Mom, you make your way into every one of my poems, but you don't come to a lot of my shows. The first time I wrote a poem about you and asked if you'd come and see me perform it, you said that wasn't a good idea. Avoidance is something that you've learned to want more than the truth. It's the doctor's appointment that you convince yourself you don't need. The limp in your right leg that you blame the weather for. The mirror that covers your entire closet door. The reason you get dressed in the dark, Mom. Last year, I read an article entitled, "The Top 10 Fattest Countries in the World." 8 of them are Pacific Islands. Our homeland comes in at number 6. The emergency room in my heart is being filled with the names of every person in our family, starting with yours, Mom. Writing poetry and performing it on a stage forces me to confront what I can't avoid anymore. I spent this last year so unhappy with myself that I was left with no other choice but to decide that I was worth the truth. That my depression was madly in love with my food addiction, and my body is the divorce settlement that neither of them won in the end. It took for Dad's type 2 diabetes, our minister's gout, and your sleep apnea to finally start giving a shit about myself so that maybe my efforts will be too big for you to avoid anymore. A year later, I'm 70 pounds lighter than I was the last time I was on this stage. But the journey it took to get here weighs as heavy as every pound lost. The way you were proud of me for going to the gym, but avoided me when I asked if you wanted to come. The food I would cook for us that you avoided eating because it was too healthy. The way I told you I picked the grad school closest to home because I'm scared of what your avoidance will do to you when I'm not close enough to stop it, Mom. In our culture, we gather together for more funerals than we do family reunions. It doesn't even faze us anymore. We keep saying that this is all in God's plan. My biggest hobby is collecting people's condolences and sympathy cards. Doctors don't know what to do with us anymore. It's as if our avoidance is more cancerous than the cancer we actually have, that now it's a matter of which one will kill us first, that maybe next year we can jump from number 6 on the list to number 1. Mom, I didn't learn our native tongue growing up, so I know there's a language barrier between us. But how many ways should I learn how to say the word casket before I actually have to pay for it? Before I actually have to put you in one, Mom? Writing poetry and performing it on a stage forces me to confront the things that I can't avoid anymore. You make your way into every one of my poems, but you avoid coming to hear them out loud. I never planned on writing this one. But if it's the only insulin that your body won't reject, if it's the only hospital that claims they may have found a cure, if this is the route furthest away from the funeral home, then I'll keep writing to this until you finally decide that you're worth the truth, and that maybe one day you'll find it in you to come to one of my shows and learn that the truth is that the first poem I ever wrote about you that you didn't want to hear about was actually a love poem. It was a love poem about you. It was a love poem to you. Just like every poem I